Indeed, we are not recognized. I constantly am not recognized at this point by my computer and by my, I don't know, all these different things. So thank you. I'm so glad that you don't know who I am. That's how much I'm changing. So I hope you are too. Welcome, welcome. Namaste. Akasha here. Mwah. Much love. Hugs to everybody. And thank you so much. It's such an exciting moment in our global history. And every day is such a profound moment that being in the present moment is more important than ever, ever, ever before, even when it's kind of uncomfortable. I had a very interesting weekend. It was the new moon on Saturday. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about those new moon intentions, those new moon wishes or seeds that you planted or didn't. And we'll go over that so you can really use the energies, the spiritual weather, the energy around us, within us, moving all over. We can use the opportunities as they come. So the full moon, the new moon, very different. And we're going to dive into a little bit of that as well. And then the multidimensional meditation will be at 11. So hello, hi, sweetie. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. So we have our kapal and we have all of our beautiful beings here. Welcome, welcome. And I want to share a new friend that I got on the new moon out here on the beach. Is very, very pretty. I love these. And so this is my new moon shell. Isn't she wonderful? Wonderful, wonderful. So fabulous, the sacred geometry and all these guys. So, okay, let's dive in and enjoy these energies. This week is kind of cool because we're moving out of a lot of things. Let me see here, screen. And we're leaving, we're leaving August. We're leaving, oh, you're here. There you are. We're leaving Leo soon, and we're leaving summer or winter, depending where you live. And this is an opportunity for a lot of passion to harness the last of the Leo energies, to use this goddess energy that's coming, opening her arms to us, this Virgo energy, pure, pure, divine feminine. All right, so that's going to be our meditation today. Make sure that you do that, divine feminine power. Now, the meditations are for the moment, but who knows? You may want to use it at other times as well. All right, Akasha here. Thank you. I hope to see you soon at a retreat, virtual or live, or in a class or in a session. And this is I think tomorrow's the last day for the sale on this particular session. So you might want to check out the shop, shop.nanakasha.com. And I just wanted to give you a quick, as we're moving into September, I may do a video on this. I'm unfolding into what the spiritual weather reports are, how best to do them. And I'm even hoping to get ahead of myself and get them to you on Sundays. And then we'll have the meditation on Monday. So we'll see how that unfolds. But this gives you a little bit of an idea. Now, the 9th is going to be a really awesome day for a lot of reasons. And Mercury goes retrograde. There's lots of other things in retrograde right now. So, and then we move all the way up into the equinox, one of my absolute most favorite times of the year. So we're going to be doing a virtual retreat. If you would love to attend a ceremony, a Mayan ceremony and a cacao ceremony and some other wonderful things, and from the beauty of your home, the comfort of your home, please let us know. We're going to share about that soon. And this is just to give you a heads up. Currently, the retrogrades that we are in are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, not considered a planet, and Mercury is going to be joining in about a week. And then what we want to realize is that Mars retrograde is going to be coming. And when that comes, it's very profound. So the rest of this year, we're going to have a lot of retrogrades. And that means that we're moving out of a lot of action. That's why I said be really conscious this week as the energies shift, because you can be like, yeah, like you're on vacation and you're going to really use the last days of that opportunity of where you are on that island or on that mountaintop or wherever you went. And you want to get the most of it. So I want you to be that way as you're going into months of kind of reflective, intuitive, internal, underneath, reviewing, not as much fast forward movement. That does not mean that things are not going to happen at all. It's the energies within you that seed what happens outside of you. It is who you are being and thinking and feeling and what you're attached to, subconscious, conscious, in your body, in your cells, in your DNA, in your mind, it doesn't matter, okay? It all makes up your vibration, and you are a projector. You're a movie projector. So you are projecting out into the world, and it is reflecting who you are. This is a hard reality for us to realize. However, what I think is that when retrogrades happen, it's fun to hear people talk about them now, and don't be afraid of them. But decades ago, my best spiritual buddy and I spent months before anybody was even talking about this rewiring retrograde. And I believe I have a free thing in the shop about Mercury retrograde and how to rewire it. Essentially, just use all the words. I saw somebody say this the other day and I go, wow, well, that's out there. And so we started to say, okay, well, review and reflect. We talked about that. But what about renew or rejuvenate or release, right? And you can go on and on. Believe me, there's so many of them. And here's the thing, Mars, if it only goes retrograde every 2 years, it's going to join the parade in this fall parade. And Mars has a lot of that energy, right? It's power and energy that can sometimes be anger or warlike, but it can be used for creative pursuits and for determining that you're just not going to be the person that you've been before. We can't be the person that we've been before. It's time to move forward. So think about the next several months of being this beautiful pathway of all of these different energies coming to stand by your side, sitting with you, whispering at you, reminding you, hey, remember this? Do you really need to carry it around anymore? Okay, so Jupiter expands things and Saturn wants you to look at what you haven't taken care of and get it organized, right? And Uranus wants you to change and awaken, and it goes on and on. So everything has their own energies, and I'm going to be making some videos and some products so that you can have, well, not really products, the things that I can give you so that you understand the energies of all these different things, like what is a new moon in general, what is a full moon in general, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and all these things, okay? So in general, you are going to be taking action. You are going to be moving around in the world. However, internally, you're going to be having this constant parade of remembering, reviewing, releasing whatever it is that you're meant to do. So think about something as rare as only comes to see you every 2 years. If one of your favorite relatives or friends only came to visit you every 2 years, what would you do? You'd be so excited and you would plan and you would set time aside for that to happen. So it isn't even self-care anymore. That's a conversation that's been beaten to death, and everybody knows that they need more self-care. Everybody knows they're in adrenal fatigue. Everybody knows that all of their physical issues, well, maybe not, but come from these internal energies we're carrying. We are done, we are complete, but you need to step up and say, okay, I'm done. So I want you to think now about the new moon we just had. We're still in the energies and there is no time and space. So you can even go sit back on the peak of the new moon if you would like in that energy and pull it around you, okay? Use your breath, use your visualization skills, practice all of these skills all the time. If you don't practice your intuitive skills, you're going to feel one moment there's going to be this massive opportunity that's going to drop in your lap, or you're going to reflect and review and release, and all of a sudden a month from now, you're going to pop up and say, holy wow, I really want to do that. But I didn't do my meditations, and I didn't let go of the doubt girl and the guilt girl and the whiny girl and the pain person and the identification with all of my wounds and my what I don't have and what I lost and what everybody else wanted or what I never got. Those are parts of you that are echoes, and they're boring, and they've played out, and they're so tired. It's like an old movie that is getting so scratched that the sound can barely go, and it starts to wah, wah, and pretty soon you see the film burning. But we're still carrying it. I'm seeing this in my classes. I'm seeing this in my students, that there are so many things in the field that you have worked your ass off on, consciously or subconsciously, that you have gone through, that you have suffered through, that you have become. But the suffering isn't who you are. The suffering is something you experienced. And when it's over, you say, oh, that was interesting. What did I gain from that? Well, I really didn't like it, and I don't want to do it again. Okay, cool. Well, who would I be, and how would I think, and what would I feel, and what would I visualize before I got out of bed, and how would I walk around in my day, and would I be willing to learn how to cleanse and clear my energy body, and would I be willing to use these energies consciously instead of being swept up by my day and letting everybody else tell me what my schedule should be? All right. So self-care isn't even self-care anymore. It is survival. And I don't mean survival like just trying to survive. I mean, you need to survive through these changing times. Nobody knows what's going on. There is a ton of drama and pain and fear, and there are more scams out there than ever. And the desperation energy is off the charts, and people are feeling cocky and manipulative, and people are feeling wounded and afraid, and we need to step into the middle and consciously plant our own seeds. And you can step into these as quickly as an hour or 2 weeks when the full moon comes. So I want you to start to say 2-week cycles, okay? 2-week cycles. And this is going to make it a little bit easier for you to think about planning. And you have to start saying no to people. And you can't keep taking care of everyone else and not you. And you need at least double or triple the time that you are taking for yourself. All right, so new moon wish seed planting. The new moon is fading, but you can still jump back in time and space and plant those soul seeds for your wishes. Now, I became magically enamored with this idea of wishes during the new moon on Saturday. In general, it sounds like something a little kid does, wishes for imaginary things to happen. And within us, regardless of who you are, regardless of how much you believe in all of this energy stuff and magic and everything, there's a part of you that was told that's not real, criticized, maybe many times, maybe made fun of. And if you're an empath, if you're a psychic, if you were just plain tuned in normal child, there you have things you've shut down, and they're coming back to the surface whether you like it or not. And you want to plant those soul seeds for your wishes, because wishes are very ethereal energy. And when a wish comes up, it's almost like the breath of your heart desires, but they can't get out because of all the fears and ideas about yourself and lack and where you are and all of that. So when your heart is imprisoned, when your throat and your voice is imprisoned, which is how most everybody's been living, plugged into the matrix, plugged into what everybody else wants, plugged into carrying around the guilt and shame and victimhood and whatever else about who you've been or not been and what has happened to you or not. Now, we were taught mostly by religions, but other family and who knows who else, to suffer and sacrifice, and that made us somehow a better person. So we keep suffering and we keep sacrificing, but it's a bullshit story. It's not true. Nothing in the higher realms, nothing in your higher self, nothing in your angels, nothing in your happy business, doing what you love, making the money you want, living where you want, all of that beautiful wishes that waft up, but you never let fully manifest or come out, because there's this part that says you can't, you won't, you'll be made fun of, and so on. So the wishes are what we're going to tune into right now, because we're moving into harvest season, and energetically following the cycles of the season is very powerful. When you realize, okay, we're moving into the harvest season, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, but there may be something there for you as well. You're moving into the planting season. So that means that whatever you have done or felt in the last few weeks or the last few months or the last few years, right? All of your life affects it, but really powerfully just recently, since we've had the breakdowns from 2012 to 2020 and now, those things are weighing on you. So when I do my soul readings or my intuitive sessions or any of these things, they're very deep and healing, and we see where these are, and we see where, hey, these you're just carrying these around. They're already in the trash bag. Let's go to the next step and energetically release this. Hey, all of the good wisdom and power and strength that you gained through all that suffering is still sitting here in a little gift box because you're afraid to open it or receive it back, even though you've already let go of the fear or the attachment to who you were or who did what. So I'm here to tell you that even if I've never met you before, I have met you before. And I know that you are in a place where you have completed so much, but you're still carrying it. You're still partially acting from it. You're not certain who you are without it, or you're not completely fully in the belief. Like you're not letting yourself embody the reality that you now could be creating and projecting, because they're still there. So you're getting a little bit of your wishes, and you're getting a little bit of your happiness, and you're getting a little bit of your money, and you're getting a little bit of a good relationship, but it's not staying, it's not consistent. And most people are feeling like, I've been doing my work for so long and I'm tired of it. So here's the first thing. I want you to plant a new moon wish, a little seed from your soul that is a gift from you to your soul. And this gift from you to your soul is you are freeing it and you are releasing it from having to hold on to any more of your limiting beliefs and energies. And you're planting that willingness so that you can become the conscious creator of your reality. And plant it now in the next few days in the sun energies of Leo, okay? The royal power, that open, strong heart, that creativity, that positive ego, and all that fire energy for creating or uncreating. You want to create and uncreate. You want to destroy and create. There isn't a bad thing in destroy. Destroy sounds negative because, yes, we've seen destruction and it seems chaotic. But when you say it's time to uncreate, to dismantle, to take apart the puzzle that you've built, you take the puzzle apart and you put it away, or you give it to someone else usually. So I want you to plant soul seeds, and I want you to listen to the wishes, because these are the ethers, these are the essences, this is the aroma of what you really are ready for. And it's wafting out through the heavy energies of your patterns, your beliefs, your doubts, your fears, your pains. And those are leaving. That you can be the conscious creator. You can accelerate these. You can take the intuition class or the chakra upgrade or the infinity light weaving or light body healing. Any of these teach you energy medicine, energy body, light body, how to activate and cleanse your light body, how to tune into and draw in energies through your eyes, through your skin, through your energy field, how to direct it. You have to step into your power. This is who you are. Stop playing small. All right? Now, think about, we're moving from fire to earth. We're moving from that strong Leo energy into this divine, pure, feminine energy. Virgo is the pure virgin. The virgin isn't representing any moral code or sexuality. The virgin is representing a pure heart, a pure spirit, pure love for self, pure willingness to care for self with that kind of purity within you, not carrying heavy things in your heart. In Egypt, they believed that when you died, you went through a heart ceremony. There were many goddesses. Mat was holding the scale, and gods. Thoth was there, and Osiris, and all kinds of other beings were there, and they weighed your heart against a feather. What does that mean? It means that you were not allowed to go on into the next world, to raise your consciousness, to gain more powers, to understand more subtle realities, to travel the universe, to have a more expanded, full reality and experience in life, not just in the body, which is what you're ready for, which is 5D and 8D and 13D. And the D conversation is kind of silly to me because everybody keeps talking about 5D, and I'm like, why are we limiting ourselves? I don't want to go to 5D. I've friggin' been to 5D a million times. I've gone past 8, 13. I don't even know what D's 20 years ago. So don't limit yourself into the D's. Just know that you are multidimensional and you can shift your consciousness into wherever is optimal for you, even if it's the 190th dimension, okay? But you just follow what's optimal for you. So you have to remember, and Virgo, that beautiful divine energy, is waiting, arms open, as we move into her phase. She's our guide. She's the one carrying us. She's the one flavoring. This is her world. You're walking through her world, and she is going to be purifying you, organizing things for you, very reliable, very hardworking, going to make sure that everything is just so, and the lines are just so. And it's a loving embrace. So relax into that. Now, I want you to track your inner garden from this new moon for the next 2 weeks into the full moon, okay? This is going to be fun. And if you haven't played with the moon energies, this is going to be really fun. If you play with the moon energies, but like most of us, you just go, oh, the full moon is on. Let me do a full moon ritual. Let me do a meditation. Let me go out and look at it. Let me tune in. Let me do some writing, whatever you do. I recommend that the moon moves very fast compared to any other celestials. And so she's like the one, she's going through her cycles. And especially if you're in a feminine body that has cycles still, you are going through your cycles. Mine weren't anywhere near 2 weeks or 1 month, but that idea that you're moving through cycles emotionally. Yesterday, I couldn't do anything. And in fact, Saturday and Sunday, I couldn't do anything. And oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So a bird just hit the window, which is very unusual in my bedroom. I'm on the top floor in the third story in all the coconut treetops. But a bird just hit the window. And when I looked up, it turned and flew away. And it was a tohoku bird. They're very unusual. They're very beautiful. I didn't know we even had them. Well, that was a sign. Thank you. Woo! Wow. I'll have to write that down. Tohoku bird. So we can add that. Okay. Good. So now I want you to track your inner garden. So if you're new to playing with the moons, or you just haven't really paid attention, do this as a 2-week exercise of being conscious of who you are, who you're being each day, how much you're complaining and talking and not accepting where you are, how much you're yearning and craving for what you want, how much you're in peace and calm and you don't feel yearning or attachment or resistance or anything. You can feel physical pain. I was exhausted yesterday. My back and neck were out for almost 2 weeks before I got to a chiropractor. So I was having a lot of physical pain over the last week or two, but I acknowledged it. I did things to help myself feel comfortable, right? I took my arnica and I did my stretching and I laid in, and I had all kinds of tools. But it didn't dictate how I felt. It didn't dictate what I said. And I didn't talk about it nonstop. It just was part of what I was in. My mind, my conscious mind, was busy looking at everything else that's going on. What's happening in the weather? What's happening in the energies? What's happening in my life, my business? What's the direction I'm meant to take now? How am I? I'm doing these things I'm sharing with you in the spiritual weather reports every day, all day. I activate my light body multiple times a day. That's something I teach you in all my classes. Infinity light weaving is an excellent idea for you to get. It's the beginning of light body healing, and it's very easy to do, and it has dozens of daily activations. And so I do cleansing and clearing. I'm communicating constantly, intuitively. I'm paying very close attention, but I'm also in the moment in what I am doing. So this is your new moon, starts Saturday, but now, okay? And the full moon is coming. This new moon is in Virgo, and the full moon is going to be in Pisces. So I want you to think about this as something fun. We're talking about leaving Leo, going through the village of Leo on our journey, on our heroine's journey, our hero's journey. And we discover things about ourselves and we meet mentors, and it's very magical, right? And now we're getting ready to go into this we're walking maybe from that village to the next village. We're in that transition point, okay? And we're moving from this beautiful Leo energies, and we're in this Virgo new moon. So now, when the full moon happens, you're going to be in Pisces. And Pisces is a very different energy. Virgo is earth and Pisces is water. All right? And Pisces has all kinds of emotion and intuitiveness and just the watery qualities, right? Okay. So that's part of your transition from the new moon. You're going to plant the seeds, the wishes. You're not going to be attached to the wishes. They don't even have to be something that could manifest in 2 weeks. You're just going to say, oh, this is how I love, this is how I feel, and I'm ready to accept this, and I'm ready to feel that, and then you release it, and then you walk along and you feel it. You give your other parts of you, your higher self, you give the moon, you give them a place to bring you what you've asked for, to grow the seeds. You have to check on the seeds. Hey, I'm feeling a little bit more of this. I think today I'll meditate on that, okay? So this cycle repeats quickly. So in truth, you're always growing, seeding, blooming, harvesting, growing, seeding, planting, there's always the cycle. And it's in a different sign. This means you're traveling from one weather or season or to the next as you plant your seeds in one sign during the new moon. It blooms and ripens 2 weeks later under the full moon. Again, if you say, I want to start a business, it's not going to happen in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm not trying to be negative either. But if it does happen in 2 weeks, there's going to be something wrong because I've had businesses my whole life. Okay, so if you're like, I'm going to do that, then you're in the new moon, plant the seeds. What are the seeds? Well, I'm thinking of the business being this and looking like that. And it would work like this. And my hours would be that. And these would be my prices. And these would be the products. And this would be how they would be delivered. These are part of the seeds. Or you could just take the idea, like I'm ready to, the dolphins are coming back to me as an example. Not like they left. I talk to them every day out here. They're in our waters right here in front of our house, but working with them, bringing people to them, doing guided sessions with them, helping. They want to recalibrate people because they know we're in this really difficult time. So for me, maybe my seed would be that I am ready and willing and open, receptive for this reunion, this connection, this new co-creations with the dolphins. And I don't need to know what it looks like. And I just plant that seed, and that wish, the aroma of that wish comes up through me. Okay. So remember that what you plant may metamorphosize and come up as something very different than you expected. So you can't, this isn't 3D, okay? You don't plant a tomato and get a tomato plant. You plant a tomato and you get a palm tree, okay? You're going to get something bigger. You're going to get something better. You're going to get something more developed or more exciting or outside of your reality. You've got to release the wishes and the seeds with love and trust and wait for the goodies to come back to you. Open, expecting, willing, okay? You have to be willing. All right, so this reflective energy we're talking about, your entire reality, your entire legs, I have no idea what that was supposed to be. I talk these into my phone usually. So we missed this one. Your entire reality, everything is up for reflection, and especially if things have been completed. So we've been doing a lot of completing this year, a lot of completing. Maybe you've had relationships end, maybe you've had just ideas about yourself end, maybe you've had willingness to speak up but not speak up end. I don't know. Okay, but this month we're moving into is a month for receiving and feeling worthy of divine feminine energies that are opening to you. Okay, the energies of healing Virgo, purify, nurture, and organize. We talked about that. Your intentions are key because you have 1 month of reflection and transformation to prepare for your next journey. So, guidance came as I was putting this today together into words and says, listen. Listen to the energies in the moment that are reflecting the past. These need love and acceptance. Intentionally transition by consciously slowing your Leo focus forward, fire energy down slowly. Don't stop suddenly. Instead, start to listen, listen more, then act in the flow of that energy as it comes in. You can sense the energy. You are filled, supported, and renewed. Earth manifestations are things like wealth and money and things and buildings and land and whatever. And once you let go into the embrace of the sacred feminine, this is going to be a time when maybe your earthly manifestations are going to leave you. Like it's time to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Or new is ready to come to you. Might be the reason to get rid of the old. Or someplace else. Or just visions of what it feels like to embrace the home of your dreams, the trip of your dreams, the garden of your dreams. Let your wishes be seeded and then embraced by the sacred feminine. Let go of who you were. And I would recommend that you put who you were into some seeds and consciously plant them and say, please remove all the energies I no longer need and allow the strength to sprout, to rise, to root. You're preparing to meet your future self and to co-create as an equal partner in your life. So no more being in the heavy beliefs and they no longer reflect back to you. You have to take 100% responsibility for who you're being, because what's coming back to you is who you have been. If you allow yourself to be filled and fulfilled, you will begin to naturally slide into the pause and rest and rejuvenate. The pause, the retrogrades that we're moving into. Then you will have the ability to sense the flow and your intuition will bloom as you receive love. Receive love, please. Receive love, please. Receive love, please. So you can see that this is the moment for harnessing the passion that's in the Leo and going in because of the love, right? This fire, your heart. So we're going to, this is kind of what we've just done. And you can feel safe and centered to allow the passion to move through you. That is often difficult. So that's part of the beauty that Virgo is going to bring you now, is you won't feel this uncertainty of the fire, which what's it going to do? Smolder, flame up, explode? What's it going to do? You're going to move into that grounded state with these. Also, the Mars energy brings that energy to act, can be anger or irritation. So watch how you relate and express this energy and harness it to bring more excitement and more senses alive, and let the sacred feminine of Virgo envelop you and put those two together and get this amazing blend of masculine and feminine and grounded and fire. So as we enter the Virgo season, you're going to feel more organized, grounded, and reliable within, and you can draw on the energies around you to help you feel that way and to help you see that way. So things that you felt overwhelmed by or maybe didn't want to clean up that stack of junk over there, you might feel like, yeah, I feel energized. Let's do it. Because then you're going to release the energy and the guilt that you're carrying over or the annoyance that it's sitting there. So it isn't about making yourself do it. It's about releasing the energy of doing it or not doing it. Then you don't carry it around. Then you can harness more of that energy for passion. All right? Passion and creativity, in sex, in passion, in self-love. All right. So let the masculine and feminine principles that we're going to be playing with for several weeks now dance and play within you and ignite the passion within you that's ready to be unleashed. I know it is. So we're entering a new phase of the year. We're going into the harvest, a shift into a new cycle, and a little slower energies. Earth moves slower than fire. There are many retrogrades we talked about. And remember, like Uranus, change, disruption, awakening. And that happened on the 24th, and we have 6 planets in retrograde. That means the spiritual temperature is asking you to listen within, unplug from the global stage and the drama, and slow down. Okay? So this is going to be part of what's rising within you this week, and it's an excellent time to embrace more of yours and divine feminine power and this reliable, strong, loving guidance. Feel it around you, feel it outside of you, and then embody it and feel it, be it for yourself. So the passion is up from the Mars energy. It's beginning to mix with the love and the earth energy, and we're emerging on a new destiny path. Remember that North Node, that was early this month, right at the end or the last month, and it's still unfolding. So we're connecting to higher parts of our soul, and that may need this passion for us to be able to see it, to be willing. I had a client come to me, and it had been, I think, 2 weeks or a little more than 2 weeks between sessions, and we usually do a week. And when she came, she said, "Oh, okay, I have to admit something. I didn't listen to the recording." So in my sessions, you really get multiple opportunities because we record it, and you go back and you listen to it at least once to take notes, because so much information comes through that you need to know. And then you listen to it again as a meditation or a healing, usually for 7 days, but it varies, okay? And so she didn't do it. She said, "I had so much terror and so much resistance to go back to it," because part of the experience was she went to 2 past lives that are living in her and that are the ones that are causing the biggest problem, that block she's having right now. And they're living in her, meaning they're not just, oh, they're part of my soul. They're actually in her. They were embedded in part of her and part of her chakras and so on. And so that was so, in the feelings of it, she experienced them. They were so real to her that she said, "I was terrified to go back. I didn't want to re-experience it." She didn't remember how beautiful the rest of the recording was. It was this incredible healing. And so she didn't do it until the morning of our next session. And she said, "Oh, I just did it this morning. And oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how beautiful that healing is. I mean, it's so beautiful. There wasn't the pain and the fear that I remembered experiencing when those past lives came up, those other lives came up." And it's that kind of transformation that is possible for you when you go, "Okay, I'm going to release this. I'm going to keep realizing I'm on a new destiny path. I'm going to connect to higher parts of me." That means these parts that are holding the deeper energies are going to rise up and say, "Hey, we're here and we want to change too, because we don't want to block you anymore and we don't want to hold you back anymore." So this new creativity and the intuitive senses that want to free themselves from these past paradigms are going to be coming up. So we're going to go into a multidimensional meditation next, and it's going to reach your body, your DNA, your mind, your emotions, your finances, even into your chakras, your relationships. It goes into time, space, your childhood. It doesn't matter. They're multidimensional. You're multidimensional. The only place that time is relevant is in your conscious, waking, 3-dimensional life. It is a structure, time, space, that forms an ability for you to walk forward in feeling as if time is happening linearly, all right? But you are a spherically conscious being, and when you wake up to that, you're going to be able to enter the practical aspects of creation that are coming. You're going to be able to move into different paradigms, different times, different energies, different states in order to consciously create who you are. So you're ready to enjoy what you have become through all the life's dramas. And in this next meditation, we're going to go into, this is going to be encoded. We're going to go into these energies we're talking about, and we're going to enjoy this wild and wonderful time and dive into the divine feminine. All right, so you're ready to stop playing with the old fears and wounds and pains and limits, okay? You really, really are. I want you to write that down. I want you to agree to that. This is something else that's happening in the skies I wanted to share with you. And the constellation of Aquila, the eagle in the northern hemisphere. There's a wonderful, I got this from the Earth Sky, one word, news. It's a wonderful newsletter that you get pictures and you get to know what's happening, and they tell you what's rising on the horizon. And it's not spiritual woo-woo, it's just scientific, but I think it's wonderful. So what I love is Altair has a very strong resonance to me. My teacher, my radionics teacher, really my first psychic development teacher, I would say as well. Her dog was named Altair, beautiful Italian Greyhound. And she had several of the other stars there named dogs. And one of these, when it passed on, became a guide from the other side that she channeled a lot of information down through several different animal communicators. And so it's very beautiful. But look, it's called the Summer Triangle. Anytime you see a triangle, this is a gateway. And in mythology, it's an eagle that carried the thunderbolts for Zeus, who is the supreme god. So that's you, that's your supreme masculine power. So this to me is saying, here, I'm showing you, I'm bringing you the thunderbolts of your supreme masculine power. I'm giving you your power back. I think that's kind of a cool thing. And we probably wouldn't see that anywhere else out there, for most likely. So, all right. So that's the spiritual weather report for today. And join me for the multidimensional meditation where we're going to take these energies and we're going to work with them. Namaste. I hope I see you soon. Have a beautiful and blessed day.